Hello, it's Yassi from SAP SME Solution Architect team. Today I'm going to showing you a prototype BYD Event Bridge. This prototype enables the state-of-the-art event publication and subscription mechanism for SAP Business by Design by plugging into modern cloud messaging service and for side-by-side extension and solution development with an event-driven and loose-coupled approach. The prototype is built with Cloud Application Studio, which it can capture the business object event. For example, whenever you create an invoice or update invoice or release invoice, it will capture the invoice event, and then where the event can be published in real time or time-based to the external cloud messaging service, such as SAP Enterprise Messaging, SAP Cloud Platform Integration, Azure Service Bus, AWS SQS. And you can develop a side-by-side extension or solution by subscribing to the event, either with a partner application or either with serverless function as a service. Now let's have a look at the quick demo. Let's start with the configuration. First, let's have a look at the event publication channel. The event publication channel, which were defined the channel to be the event to be published. Here I have defined 4 publication channels. Let's look at the first one, SAP Enterprise Messaging. In my event publication channel definition, I have defined a channel ID name and the type, and as well as how to authenticate to my channel and how to access to my channel as well. And in this case, I have SAP Enterprise Messenger instance, and where I have defined the queue, and our target queue is BYD2. And I also have defined a CPI publication channel where the event will trigger the CPI integration flow by the HTTPS and with the basic authentication in this case. And in my CPI tenant, I have integration flow name BYD event has been defined, and where it can be triggered by the HTTPS from the external, and then by the endpoint BYD event. And in the integration process, I have defined one simple step: just logging whatever you receive from the sender into the log file. Of course, you can replace this with your own integration process logic here. Maybe call another system or do something else here. Similarly, I also have defined the publication channel for the Azure Service Bus, where I also have defined in my Azure account, I have defined a queue named BYD Event Service Queue. It's here. We're going to send the push the event to this BYD event queue in Azure Service Bus. Also, I also have defined SQS, AWS SQS, where I have defined it. Okay, now let's look at one more configuration. That is the object level event configuration, where you can define by per object. For the customer invoice object, I defined it as a no real-time publication, and then I also include 4 target publication channel what I have defined. Okay, now let's have a look at a step-by-step. First, let's look at how the event has been generated. Okay, simply now let's create a menu invoice and select the account as usual. Of course, you can having the invoice from the order. I just very quick demo, and the product ID, and then saved the invoice. So basically in the background you will trigger the process and to generate event and to persist the event. Now let's look at the event. Event here, as you can see, we have 2 event has been created. So the event one night is for the root, and then it's invoice, and this is the object UUID, and it's a creation, and the event is a new because we do not in the object event configuration, we do not in this time we are using the either you can publish by menu. Okay, that's the event. As you can see, it populates the configuration of the publication channel, target publication channel to here as well. Okay, now right, since we have an event generation, and now let's push this event, publish this event to those 4 channels. Let's click publish. And then it has been all success. And then let's check one by one. As you can see, we have received 1 message in the Enterprise Messenger. And let's check the message what it has been sent to. As you can see, you have sent the event 199 to my Enterprise Messenger in this case. Let's check the second one. Okay, my CPI, I have one message has been triggered just now. And then let's look at the log, because if you remember, we download the log, we write the log. Let's look here. The log is we log the event, as you can see, 199 event ID. And let's receive the event. Let's pick the event. As you can see, we see 1 event in the Azure bus. Okay, it's also the same event ID 199. Let's check the event in SQS. The same event ID 199 has been sent to forward of a channel. And then of course you can have your own application. Either you can have a function, a lambda function, or application which you can listen to the you can by subscribe to the event here. Okay, so of course we also can do the real-time publication. Let's do one more demo. Now let's go back to the configuration. Now let's look at the real-time event publication. Now as for now we're having the latest one, event ID 210. I have already updated the configuration for the invoice to have a real-time publication. So, and now let's going back to the invoice we have just created, and then I'm going to update the discount again, or any kind of in the line. Okay, this time I'm going to have the discount as 50% and save. Now the invoice has been updated successfully. Now let's look at the event. Now as you can see, there's 2 more event has been generated for the item node, rule node, and then the status is marked as complete. So if you look at the status, as you can see, they have been published at the foot of the channel, and the status have been checked. And if we're going back to the Enterprise Messenger or any kind of the queue, and let's refresh, and we see having two more message, and let's consume the message. And then as you can see, we have 203 and 204 in this case. Now let's have a look at the mess event publication. I have to show a quick demo. I'm going to publish the event 191 to 196 with the mess publication, where I have defined the mess data round for the invoice event, where you can have in the selection criteria such as between the ID. Okay, let's set this in this case 190 to 197. Of course, you can set up the selection criteria by the event type, or by the object type, or by the object ID, and so on and so forth, or even by the publication channel, as you wish. Okay, now let's save, set to active, and now we schedule as a standard mess data round. You can start immediately, or you can run recurrency every midnight something in this case. Okay, let's start immediately. Okay, we see that the job has been complete, finished, and without any error. And 4 and 7 object has been published. Let's go back to the event. As you can see now, from 191 to 197, they're all been complete. And then we can check the result. Let's check the result from the cloud platform integration, or any of them. As you can see, we see 7 event has been logged. Event 196. Okay, and then similarly, I also designed the mess event deletion, where you can get rid of those complete event or undesired event to maintain the event as a minimum number here. Okay, so this concludes the demo. Thank you.